everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and welcome to the official inaugural leap into the new SPDM Crew podcast, the Wasteland Spotlight. And yes, if you didn't think this was going to have Wasteland in the title, I don't know what to tell you. But this started as a segment on my talk show, Wasteland Talks, over on my YouTube channel. And I was having so much fun with this. And it had been creeping in my brain. I'm like, I could just turn this into my own podcast. But then I'm like, Shane, you have too many to begin with. And then I got rid of one. And I'm like, well, that gives me an excuse. And I'm only going to do this once a month. So that is also my excuse. But joining me as I'll say as my resident guest for now. We'll see how this residency at the Wasteland Spotlight lasts. She can take a break whenever she would like, just putting that out there. It is Patrice Downing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Always. I've always enjoyed doing this with you. So it's exciting that we're going to get to do it once a month now and that I get to, try not to torture you for four movies once a
Well,
month.
so this is I love this segment and why it kind of grew into something because the original conception of this was my brother really wanted to talk about noir films with me on my YouTube channel. So I came up with this idea. I'm like, well, we could do a quartet in an hour, 10, 15 minutes each, and we did the first one. It was great. I rewatched or watched all four of the next set. It was supposed to be Noir Part Two. And then this recording never happened because as honestly recording things with my brother sometimes turns out that happens. But and then I'm like, this
Brothers.
is a siblings. This is the thing where this is a fun idea. My guest picks a theme, an idea for it, and then we watch four films. I've done plenty with Patrice at this point, who's honestly got me to watch a lot of films that I probably have never heard of or never would have watched. And honestly, it's a good thing, shaking things up. And I've done episodes like my buddy Greg Vorob and I did Carl Reiner, Steve Martin films, which honestly it's the four of them, so that worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
And here we wanted to start off with our first two episodes for January and February 2026 with Let's Put on a Show, part one and two. So each of these films, in some shape or form, putting on a show. And whether it's to trick people into buying a house, trying to make it big on the community theater stage, having some kind of strange meta-contextual exploration of Cole Porter's life, or, it's a West End show and somebody's been murdered. Um, that's what we got here on this first episode as we dive into 1988's Funny Farm, 1996 Waiting for Guffman, 2004's Be Lovely, and 2022's See How They Run. And let's get started with probably the most mystery one of this bunch. Why this is actually put on a show is this comedy starring Chevy Chase. It is Funny Farm, and this is from director George Roy Hill, which is a fascinating thing that this man directed this movie. Like, I know he did Slapshot, but like
Yeah.
this is Cassidy and Sundance Kid, The Sting, Slaughterhouse Five. It's an interesting choice.
It's weird, right? Like,
Yeah, and it's 100% a Chevy Chase vehicle for sure.
oh
And
yeah.
Madeline Smith Osborne thrown in there as well. And we have a couple swap city life for the country, but their picturesque new hometown turns out to be just a little bit different to what they were expecting. Patrice, what are your general thoughts on Funny Farm?
This is kind of one of my happy place movies that I'll just flip on. It's been a kind of cruddy day and I just need some
Mhm.
giggles without having to sit down and watch it because I've seen it so many times. Like
Yeah.
we had it on VHS, so I've seen it a whole lot of times as a kid. And then when I finally found it streaming, maybe 10 years ago, and saw it again, I was like, I still enjoy this. And it came out in a time when there were a lot of like yuppies moving to the city kind of movies coming out.
Mhm.
You had like The Money Pit, you had Baby Boom. There's like a handful of movies all from within a couple of years of this where it's like, oh, people leaving the city to live in the country was just, it was a thing. And
Or even
this
like
is
vacationing. It's like the
Right.
great outdoors
That's what I
and
was just
stuff
gonna
like
say, like
yeah.
that too, because you've got Roman's family is exactly like this in the country,
Yeah.
So it's a fun time for that kind of fish out of water in a goofy way where everyone's just super pretentious about something and then getting into the country life. So it's just it's a fun time. I think Chevy Chase is pretty funny in this. He It's just funny, like, even when he sings, like, "Joy to the World" exactly like he does in Vacation. There's a couple of things where you see, like, just other parts of other performances just because that's just how he is, so I think we just get a lot of fun times in this. Visual gags, some of
Mm.
the dialogue's just really funny. And then Madeline Smith Osborne, oh my gosh, I love her chasing the dog around with a frying pan. Well,
Which I
like,
don't
just
think
some of
I don't think I've been particularly aware of who she is. And I really liked her a lot in this. And
mm,
obviously you quickly connect with Elizabeth a lot quicker
oh my gosh,
um
yeah.
than Andy. But like this is 100% Chevy Chase's shtick of like he seems mild mannered, he seems like a regular dude, and then he starts
Mm,
slowly like losing it, and
yeah,
and
just
Chevy Chase does play I'm becoming unhinged very well.
mhm,
You see it in all the vacation movies because something always pushes him to the edge, and this country life pushes him to the edge
yeah,
like very
pretty
quickly,
quickly.
pretty quickly,
Like,
and
their relationship gets strained incredibly quickly.
well, and the like little moments, and there's a lot of relatable things. Like this brought back to a time where I'm like, damn, I don't miss a time before GPSs.
Like,
Um,
seriously,
with their moving van not
like a
getting there, and
hand-drawn
like,
map. It's like, I've been there.
yeah,
Like, what
it's
is
like
this?
I blame the man who drew this map. Come on, I drew you a map.
Yeah, and that oh,
Mike stars on it. A man on the
oh,
edge.
so funny. Like, I loved
It's
having him driving that van too, because it's like, I was outside all night with the animals, the mosquitoes.
and destroying the covered bridge,
Oh
which
my
was
god, yeah.
wild.
But I
And
wouldn't
like,
go that way.
yeah, as they already drove away.
Mm,
The small town, like salt of the earth type people in this movie is very interesting for sure.
mhm. Oh, the sheriff.
And
What a character.
it's like, does the sheriff always drive around in a taxi? When he doesn't pass his driver's test, and just like, oh, that's the kind of town. And then like it's like, your house is kind of out of the way of the
The
mail
mailman.
route. So like by the time he gets over here, he's pretty,
He's pretty well liquored up.
pretty well liquored up. It's like him unhinged driving this truck, and
Mhm.
you finally meet him later.
Yes.
And
Oh, with the laugh. The laugh that, like,
the laugh.
curls your toes. Ugh.
And I will that was a great moment waiting to see, like, I was expecting like a pretty recognizable character actor to pop
Yeah.
up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's that guy.
Yes. It's so
And
funny. Well, even, like, the publisher that comes, like, Joseph Mayer's been a lot of
yeah,
stuff. So I thought that was kinda crazy that he was just a little bit part in that.
well, and that scene was wild where he's trying to
Yes.
drop a boulder down
It got very Caddyshack there for a minute.
yes, because he indeed was dressed up just
He
like
was exactly.
he actually kind of gave up a little he gave off a little bit more of a Dan Aykroyd Caddyshack 2 military
He
outfit
did actually.
versus Bill Murray's shenanigans, but like
Mhm.
same vibe for
Yeah.
sure, where it's just like the country has finally broken him and he's
Which
ready to
yeah.
do whatever. I I loved Madeline Smith Osborne. She's lovely. She has a great personality that she brings to this. And the marriage moments where like she totally didn't tell him about the extra food that she had.
Yeah.
And
Oh
like
my gosh. Her biting into the apple. Was it like because I'm not really on her side at first, right? Because she doesn't offer to share the banana.
Yes.
And then as soon as he goes to sleep, like she eats the apple she lied about having, right? But then everything after that, it's like you're more and more like, I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like, I'm
Well,
on her
I have
side.
to say, that is such a husband thing to do, to latch on to. Okay, she ate an apple.
Yeah, you
You
know.
stole her work.
Yes.
And I'm like,
And you're gonna bring up the
what?
apple. Like,
And that was a wild twist, like where they have their nice little getaway. She definitely wants to,
oh,
just
yes.
do it,
Have an anniversary.
have an anniversary. And it's like,
You get,
here's my manuscript. Please read it.
I'm
Please
gonna
read it.
watch you. Like,
And
what a pretentious gift to give someone. Like, she's giving you this thoughtful, like, dog that won't run away, because who doesn't love yellow dog?
that's so funny because it's just unhinged. It's scan that first dog. It's
Yes.
a really long haired something. If my
It's an
wife
Irish
were here, she
setter,
would
and
know.
it just
Okay,
takes off.
breaks off. And the dog's just like the oldest. Just, I'm just chilling here, dog.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
It's like I'm
Um,
a doorstop, not a dog.
but I did not expect her to go straight up like this is really bad.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
you're
and
right, it's really
she
bad.
does not hold any punches with that either. She's like, "It's horrible."
That was
Like,
wild. And then the fact that she becomes a famous child,
yes.
like children's book writer, based off of him, and it's just like, yeah, the squirrel died at the end of the first book. It's like, what?
Yeah. Because she had him on board there, and then she's like, "Oh, he doesn't make it to the second book. He's based off me." Well, he gets run
And
over
like
by a truck.
at that point, that's where Chevy Chase just goes off the deep end,
Oh,
starts
that was the
rolling
last straw.
boulders,
Yep.
pulling up
Drinking
dead
all day,
bodies.
sleeping all day. Yeah.
Um,
It's
I at the end of the day, it's one of those types of films where it's like, is it that they're unhappy in their marriage or unhappy with their marriage? And to be honest, I wanted her to divorce him by the end. And so like
yeah.
I didn't want them to get back together. And I'm just like, darn it.
It's
Um,
weird to me that they did, honestly, because he did some pretty big betrayal with stealing her work
oh,
and
that
then
would have
just
been a done deal.
and he's clearly a very selfish person. Everything
Yes.
he does is about him. He never and I know it's all just in a movie, but you never see him offering to help or seeing how she's doing. And like they seem indifferent to each other
Mhm.
in general. Like just everything they're doing is kind of like, even when she's unpacking and he's going fishing, like she can't be bothered to stop her music for a second. He's trying to see how things are coming. And she's just like bopping along, like, doing her thing. And it's like
I like
she's
this
yeah.
as I'm demonstrating with my two hands not touching at all. Um, where it's just like they're
They're
just kind of co-inhabiting.
they're very much
Um,
just living parallel to each other. And the fact that they decided to move to the country to the middle of nowhere together is just mind-boggling because she has like no there's nothing that she plans on doing.
yeah,
So the fact that she started writing is cool because, she had no
and she's
plans when
better
they
than
went out
him at
there.
it.
Exactly. And she actually
And
went out and made friends.
I will give the film credit for the whole entire like buying in the whole town trying to put on
Oh
like
my
this is the
gosh.
perfect little
The
town for
biggest
Christmas.
yes. Like, here's some pictures of some magazines. This is Norman Rockwell.
It's
Let's
like
study these pictures and do this.
everybody's putting their best foot forward because they're gonna get $50.
Yeah.
Um, and like that was the most interesting part of the movie.
Mm.
And this little microcosm of this film of them putting on the show
Mm.
was so much fun because it's so ridiculous and you have a little couple unhinged moments where like the dog walks in with
With
like
the
a
oh yeah,
forearm and
yeah.
a hand bone. It's just like what?
She's just like chasing. It's the most the dog moved the whole time is running away from her while she's trying to get the bone from chases him into the laundry
Exactly.
room. I love the
And
callback to it though. In the next scene with the dog, he's got an ice pack tied to his head.
it's
It's
so
little stuff
crazy.
like that that's just so cute. And the only my actual only complaint about this movie is I feel like there wasn't enough in the town. They just focused so much on Chevy Chase that they didn't actually have them go to town other than they go to the picnic at one point. But it's like I feel like they could have got a lot more laughs out of this if they just steered into the townspeople a little more. Because you've got some really fun characters like Bill
Yeah.
Fogarrock, like pre-coach,
Well,
like being a the tow truck driver and just all these like characters that they've got in this like the lawyers, all of them are just they're real characters and it would have been fun to see them in the town a little more. But that's also these people are very much removed from it. They did not come to be part of a community. They came to just try to do their yuppie thing in the country. So it does make sense, I guess, that they didn't really invest in going to the town and meeting people and doing stuff. So
like I'll say, like, I'd watch this again. I don't know if this is going to wind up becoming a comedy for me that I return to, but I think it does a good job of hitting those tropes and making those jokes really well. And you have like, the snake thing
mhm.
and the crazy boulder thing and the whole fishing boat thing
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and the baseball game.
Mhm.
Uh, and at the end of the day, I don't like I was so indifferent to Andy as a character, but I did enjoy kind of seeing him, completely spiraling because,
Mhm.
Chevy Chase plays that very well of
Yeah.
completely breaking. Um, and he's not exactly the best person in real life, so it's a little
No.
cathartic watching him
Right?
get crapped on for sure.
For sure.
But that's Funny Farm. So our next film we have from 1996 is Waiting for Guffman, and this is a Christopher Guest directed mockumentary. And of course, this stars the likes of Fred Willard, Catherine O'Hara, um, Larry Miller, Parker Posey, Eugene Levy, Bob Balaban, so many other people who are consistent players in these films. And we have an aspiring director and the marginally talented, that's great,
I love this log
marginally
line. It's so perfect.
marginally talented amateur cast of a hokey small town Missouri musical production go overboard when they learn that someone from Broadway will be in attendance. Blaine, Missouri, self
Blame
proclaimed home of the
Brick.
first UFO landing in the United States. So, Therese, what are your general thoughts on Waiting for Guffman?
Oh my gosh. How could I not love this? You got Mayor played by Larry Miller, who you know I love.
Yeah.
You got Christopher Guest is so funny in this. Like physically, he's so funny in this. Just like the dancing and the way he talks and the cadence of his tone like his personality, like you could tell he invested in this character because there's so many you can feel the layers to this character. Like you can tell he has so much backstory in his head while he's playing this because of how he reacts to some of the things that happen. It's so great. And then, this cast together, I mean, they're such gems. I just love everyone in it. I think Bob Balaban actually kind of stood out to me more in this than anything else he did because he's jealous that,
Yeah,
that Corky's taken over, but he's also just, he's directing the crap out of that orchestra. Just,
absolutely.
I love like Bob Balaban really just unsung hero in this one because he just keeps he's like I've done this for so many years and now Corky's taken over because he's got experience like in off Broadway.
It's the sassy, petty,
Oh
like
yes.
just jealousy of it all.
Hmm.
And yeah, he has that orchestra going,
Oh
and
man.
he has that fleeting moment where he is gonna be in charge, and
Yes.
then
We've got 5
Corky comes
days. I'm
back,
in charge.
and which Christopher Guest does completely 100% always commit to the bit
I
when
mean,
he
so
does
hard.
character work. And here, Corky St. Clair is a very, very clearly gay man who is putting on this show. And it's so funny because whenever he has like romantic moments in the show, I'm like, I have never been unconvinced of a man loving a woman in my whole entire
Yes.
life as in this moment.
And the doctor's wife being just very turned on by him. Like,
So
she's like way too into him. It's so weird.
it's so weird. And like Christopher Guest completely commits to the bit. And Corky is so strange. And like when he gets in front of the council asking for money, and
Yeah.
just like what kind of budget do you
Yeah. It's like we've got $15,000 for the whole year. You want 100,000? That 15,000 includes swimming. That's the pool. But there isn't a pool in this.
and
That's not the point, Corky.
I love seeing Fred Willard pop up in things.
Oh my
And
gosh.
like nothing's gonna beat his work in Best in Show because his commentary
Oh,
is,
so great.
is incredible. Like he is so good as Ron, and like Catherine O'Hara is Sheila, like their whole entire dynamic. Um, I'm so glad that I've started watching these Christopher Guest films to broaden my horizons to just how incredible Eugene Levy is. Because
Mhm.
here's just Jim's dad, Noah Levinstein, for me for
Oh
the
man.
longest time from
He's
American
so
Pie.
great in all of these because he's always like he feels so different even though he's kind of the same. It's weird. Like in this one, he's like this
It's
I've got like
his
the
eyes.
eyes. Oh my God. And he's got some really funny like ideas of like his song choice and like I love like there's a lot of like just really great word usage in this. Like there's some of it I love. Corky says like the obtuseness of the piece when he's describing something, but then like Eugene Levy says he's talking about his grandfather's Yiddish acting troupe and he calls them sardonically irreverent. Like just there's like just lines like that where I just love the use of language in this. And then there's things in the background that are hilarious. Like Corky's apartment has posters from some of the productions, and one of
Yeah.
them is Cornelius McGillicuddy and the Amazing Flying Machine, an amazing musical off Broadway. Like some of those details slayed me.
Well, and the actual show they put on
Hmm.
is so much fun.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I would actually watch that show.
How could you
And
not want to? I mean, like they're going through the history of this town with this same group of people, changing characters every scene, which I think like that's an undertaking, you
well,
know?
and Michael Hitchcock, who I don't know much from outside of these Christopher Guest films, and like
Hmm.
he's the one half of the yuppie young couple with Parker Posey with the anxious dog in Best in Show. Like him just being like, I just loved it. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
And
it's
him
great.
like being
Oh
such a
God.
fangirl, like
Yeah.
fangirling out
And like
about
you could
this
tell he
show.
wanted to give him the $100,000.
Yep.
We just
And
don't have it.
well, and it's just there's so many great little characters like Don Lake as the Lake his Blaine historian, or David Cross as the
David
UFO expert.
Cross. Oh my God, when he says it changes every day in diameter and circumference, but the radius stays the same. Like
Crazy.
that doesn't
Um,
make that. And the weather is always exactly the same inside the circle. It
you
just
have
sounds exactly like people that have these experiences and stuff. It's so funny.
aliens. Louis Arquette as
Oh my
Clifford
God.
Woolley, who's just like, on the show, and being like the back, like prospecting kind of um guy from like Oregon Trail
Yeah.
vibes for sure. And there's just such incredible character work, and this really captures that spirit of like small town theater where people have
Mhm.
big dreams and
Oh yeah.
maybe they have just enough talent to really woo the people of their small town, but do they have enough talent to like get
Woo anyone
elsewhere?
else?
And the whole entire awkward interaction with the guy who they think is Guffman at the end, and
Oh
he
my
just turned out
God.
he just plays
You-
along with it for a bit, and then I'm glad he's a nice guy and he's just generally honest about it. It's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm just not, and then they so disappointed.
Yeah. Like
And
hopes deleted.
they waited a long time for Guffman to Guffman not show up.
But not
Um,
Guffman.
but this movie is so funny from start to finish. And, you know, in general, on some level, I can watch any of these Christopher Guest mockumentaries and have a fun time. Obviously, I think they started losing a little bit of steam towards the end, but like this, Best in Show, Mighty Wind are like
Mhm.
these are
Yeah.
like top tier
Oh, yeah.
mockumentaries.
Like this one makes me actually laugh out loud every time because
Hmm.
just the little things like how Larry Miller says Missouri and like
Zurich.
and then there's a oh Fred Willard is talking about at the end how they're now a bi-coastal family because we consider the Mississippi a coast. Stuff like that slays me every time.
I know
Or
it's a
Paul Dooley as the he was abducted by aliens and talking about how sometimes he just doesn't have any feeling in his rear end.
wild, and it's
That's
so
weird things to say.
a weird thing to say. All these characters are so memorable. They have so many great lines, and you know, they, they found some alchemy here when they found this group of people
Oh my
to
god,
make
yeah.
all these mockumentaries together. Christopher Guest found such a crew, and I
Mhm.
hope someday he can circle back around. Maybe has a maybe finds a little bit of extra juice in the tank. Because
Mhm.
what was the last one? Was Mascots? Was the
Yeah,
last one, and that went straight to Netflix. I haven't watched that one,
I haven't
honestly.
either, honestly. Like
But
I've had it on the watch list forever, but never really pulled the trigger because it didn't seem like this, you know?
well, and it's it's to the point where I really enjoyed Final Tap 2 like and and continues. And that brought back so much energy. I'm like, oh my God,
Mhm.
he should really do another
Yes.
one. And because I'm
I
looking at
mean, the,
mascots, and there's certainly familiar faces, and there's some fun
mhm.
other because you got to have like a John Michael Higgins popping up there, and Parker Posey,
I did
and like
like John Michael Higgins and Mike McKeon were really the only thing missing from this. And
yeah,
Mike McKeon did work on the music though, so you could still see his
nice.
footprint in here. So that does explain a lot about why the songs in this were just so great because him and Christopher Guest did them together.
Oh, great. Well, that was fun vibes. Now we're this is a bit more
Oh
depressing
yeah.
vibes.
Oh my God,
Um
yeah.
Shifting into D Lovely, which I distinctly remember when this movie came out. Back when I was 13. 13-year-old Shane was not going to go see De Lovely
No.
at that point in my life, but this is inspecting a magical biographical stage musical. Composer Cole Porter reviews his life and career with his wife Linda. And this is from director Erwin Winkler, which that was so random to me. And I
Right?
saw I'm like the like this man has well, I know he was a bigger producer than he was an actual
Mm.
director. Like here we have Kevin Kline, who Kevin
Uh,
Kline could be in any movie
he really
and
could.
just make it so much better. And it's so funny because when I put this on, my wife watched a little bit of it with me before she went to bed, and she's just like, Mr. Fish Odor? She's like, that's basically what Kevin Kline's been doing for a while now. And he's
Yeah,
so good in it.
he really
Um,
is.
but Patrice, what are your general thoughts on D Lovely?
So I think there's two reasons I like this movie.
Mhm.
One, obviously, the Kevin Kline of it. And
Yes.
then the music is great. I actually really do like Cole Porter music. It's been in a lot of movies I've loved over the years. I
Mhm.
actually did see the first biopic about Cole Porter with Cary Grant, of course, because
Okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
So when this came out, I was like, Cary Grant's already done this. But then I was like, Kevin Kline, I can get behind that. Because honestly, I don't know a lot of other people at the time that were song and dance men that really would have pulled off that era
Yeah.
well. and Kevin Kline does really slide into different times and countries and dialects and stuff so well,
Hmm.
and he really does just try to embrace the characters he plays. And I like the story itself, like, is odd the way they're doing it, but I find it interesting odd.
Well, it's such a unique way of doing a biopic. Is like you just have Jonathan Price, who is just a character who's
Yeah,
putting on this show with Cole Porter, and we're going through his life, and the whole entire story is told through them putting on this performance. And I didn't expect that because 2004 was like the rise of the biopic again. Because like
right. And they were
Ray,
much more straightforward. Like, you're starting at this point in their life and you're going through this
yeah,
point. And to have it
which
be told so differently, like, especially with, like, Kevin Kline, like, as Cole giving notes on his own life the whole time,
yeah,
I think was really interesting. Like, that's why I find it interesting, is because, someone else is portraying your life for you here, but you're looking at it like, That's not how I remember that. I don't want to really revisit this part." It's like, "Oh, this is all part of your life, Cole. Like, we got to do it. We got to get
and
through
Jonathan
this."
Price is just like, no, man, you lived
Yeah.
it, you did it, you got to
Like,
relive
you
it.
gotta own this. Yes. Like, it's so
And
crazy.
getting a very reliable character actor like Jonathan Price to kind of like
Mhm.
anchor us with him is like
Yeah.
the selling point of this is Kevin Kline for sure. Because like
Oh,
Kevin
yeah.
Kline is so damn charming. And
Mhm.
no matter how much Cole Porter is a bit of a bastard,
Yeah.
at times it's just like you can't help but be charmed by him. And like the way he holds like the cigarettes and holds himself in these outfits and everything.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
just
yeah. He
it's pitch
definitely could
perfect.
wear that time frame well.
Mhm.
Like, the clothes were great. Everything I really think the production value, though,
Yeah.
for such an obscure, like, I feel like this was an obscure biopic to do in 2004. Like, I don't think everyone's like, "Oh, Cole Porter," like, we all know, like, I think it
Because
would
like
have
we were
almost.
getting Ray Charles and Johnny Cash like
Right.
at this time,
Like,
and this sparked Beyond the Sea too. Like I
mhm.
feel like this and that were
Oh, yeah.
like similar type vein, passion project kind of
Mhm.
things that were happening around that time with Kevin Spacey as Bobby Darin and
I
stuff
really
like
liked the music in that one, was really good too.
that.
Now Beyond the Sea is gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the day.
Well, there you go. And because I wasn't fully familiar with Cole Porter's catalog because like I knew I was gonna know some of the music. And especially because like the song from the beginning of Temple of Doom, just one of his shows. And
Yeah, I mean, I love, like, Ashley Judd plays on the piano with their friend's daughter, the song from High Society, because I love High Society,
Mhm,
and I loved hearing True Love played on the piano, because I the only other time I'd heard it was Ben Crosby with a little accordion thing
mhm.
singing it
Yeah.
to Grace Kelly. So, it was fun to see a lot of these in different, like, because the songs are composed so differently in
Yeah.
this than they were for the stage and other ways I've heard them. So I thought it was really cool. I mean, like, can we just talk about the music though? Like, who they got to do all these? Like,
So
seriously.
I did not well, so first off, I did not realize what they were doing right away. And then the lovely. And I'm
Robbie
sitting like,
Williams
and I'm like,
killed it.
I'm looking at him like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
is that Robbie Williams? Because
Yeah. And that was peak
I'll
Robbie
be
Williams too.
I'll be frank, I had no idea who Robbie Williams was before his CGI ape
Yeah.
biopic came out. But man, I'm like, and then I've been listening to his music ever since because he has some very catchy pop music that I really
Oh yeah.
appreciate. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's him. I'm like, that's a nice little cameo. And then
But
and then it continued. And then
yeah,
I'm like, is that
then you
Alanis
get,
Morissette?
yeah, is that Elvis Costello? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that
Sheryl
was I'm like,
Crow. And
mhm,
then the chick that sings at the, party to, the rap party for the film is Elvis Costello's wife.
interesting.
because I was like, I don't know why this chick looks familiar. I couldn't figure out
Mhm.
who she was, and I'm like, oh, it must have just been from seeing them together at the time,
Well,
But she
and
does two songs
it's
in it. I mean, it's yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I get very into all the music in this, and
yeah,
what's weird is all the artists are from different labels, so the soundtrack is like not on anything. Like you can't go on Spotify and listen to the soundtrack, which is very
that's a
frustrating.
shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Like
shame because like this should be a really popular soundtrack for a movie because like
mhm,
they all do such an amazing job. They all bring their own distinct vibes and
mhm,
different personalities to it, but like them making this a jukebox musical in that way was an inspired choice, but like it doesn't feel out of place because it all feels like it threads in with the pageantry of
mhm,
them putting on this show. And I'll admit, like I think this movie was starting to feel a little long in the tooth in the third
mhm.
act for me when it starts getting
Oh
really
yeah,
into like the
because
really
it's darker.
depressing,
It's very dark,
darker
the
parts.
last part. Yeah.
And like I was getting, and I was getting frustrated with Cole Porter at that point where
Mhm.
it's just like,
Right.
I get it. Like he's obviously a gay man who's in a marriage with a woman who he loves as a
Mhm.
partner. But
Right.
like obviously they don't have that physical aspect of their relationship. And he gets that. And she
Mhm.
gets that. And
Yep.
they're okay with it. But then he just starts being a dick about it.
Right.
And
And she was always supportive of, do what you need to do to be inspired and to be happy. And he just kind of starts acting like a jerk to her. So I'm glad she left him for that bit. But
yeah,
then, he gets in a horse accident, and which could you like think of a worse thing to happen to someone whose like their life is music than not being able to play the music? So now he goes through the second half of his life in just tremendous pain
yeah.
trying to keep his legs so that he can play
20
the piano.
something
Yeah,
surgeries and
yeah. And this
like
isn't like with the technology we have today,
no.
This was like 30s, 40s, 50s technology, which is much different. And just everything about that, like, they did ask a lot of each other. And, I think he's lucky that he had her because we did get a lot of great music and a lot
Yeah.
of, just amazing stuff out of him. And I don't think we would have got all that if she hadn't been there to push him and to, look over him for like
Well,
after
yeah,
his
I think
accident.
he would have spiraled.
Oh,
Like if
hardcore.
she wasn't there to like keep him on straight, I think his vices would have spiraled him
Yeah. Oh, he wouldn't have
way
made it.
earlier in his life.
Yep.
And you know, that's a it is a frustrating trope, but also, true thing to life, the
Right.
long suffering wife
Hmm.
and like I've always gravitated to those characters in these biopics because like Theory of Everything, I cared a lot more about Felicity Jones's wife character, the Danish girl. I cared way more about Alicia Vikander's character in that film. And here I wouldn't say that I think Ashley Judd is like a great actor, but honestly, this is probably one of the best performances I've seen out of her.
Hmm.
And when he has that frustration of not being able to play, and she's just
Oh my gosh, yeah,
bawling,
she's
that
breaking
got me.
down.
That
Yeah.
got me. I'm like, because like I knew it was Ashley Judd, but like I didn't look up who it was right away because I'm just like,
Mhm,
I'm really appreciating this actress. And I'm just like, that is Ashley Judd and it was
mhm.
surprising me because like usually she doesn't get
No,
like I
I
don't
don't
connect as strongly to like barely think any performance to be perfectly
no.
honest off the top of my head. But no, this was something special. And
She
you know
worked
it's
on the music
wild?
too. Did you see that? Like she's one of the 3 credited with composing the music.
Interesting.
It's very like and she doesn't consider herself she did sing in it, but she doesn't consider herself to be a very gifted singer, which I mean, she
Yeah.
was definitely passable, for
Mhm.
what she was I mean, compared to every how could you feel like you could sing compared to everyone else in this? I mean,
There's a lot of
that's a
talent.
daunting that's a lot of pressure. I mean, she didn't have to sing
Well,
much, but geez.
well, and even Kevin Kline, who Oh, it's like he's not like, oh my God, he has the most amazing voice, but he's an entertainer
Yeah.
and
Oh
he can
yeah.
entertain.
He can make them
And
laugh.
yeah, he can make them laugh. And that's like, if you didn't get a Kevin Kline type to do this film, I don't think this would have worked.
No.
And he's what really makes it. And I'll just throw in quickly. I loved seeing Mr. Gibbs,
Yes,
Kevin
as
McNally
his
pop up.
lifelong best friend.
And I'm like, because this was the year after the first Pirates movie came out. So like, and that wound up
Oh,
being
didn't even think of
his,
that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that was '03, I think the first one came out.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Josamy
funny.
Gibbs. And obviously, like, this became his career for like a while. It
Oh
was
yeah.
just being Gibbs in the
Yep.
Pirates movies.
I'm the first mate. He's the first mate in this too.
Basically. And overall, I think this was an inspired twist on a music biopic. And I think the music really sold it. And this is how you highlight somebody's music doing one of their biopics for sure. That doesn't just
Mhm.
feel like, hey, look, it's the actor we got who's just gonna, perform the
Who's yeah.
performances throughout the movie.
Mhm.
Because, some of them work really well. Like I think James Mangold always does a great job of bringing that. Like Walk the Line, them doing
Yeah.
full blown performances of Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon actually performing was
Performing,
really impressive.
yeah.
And like obviously Jamie Foxx actually did like really embody Ray Charles too with that, to the point where they sampled the song
Right?
Gold Digger
I
for
know, right?
because of that and stuff
That's
like that.
like yeah.
This was a great time to revitalize music biopics, and I feel like they've kind of fallen back down again recently. I'm really worried about this Michael Jackson music biopic
For real,
because like
right? Like
that the Whitney Houston one was
I just saw a
very
song
like,
sung blue and I'm glad I didn't watch the documentary first because it would have ruined the movie.
well, because I can
But
imagine they
oh
fudged
my.
so many things.
It's
Like,
so weird to watch. Okay, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but
yeah.
it's like you're watching, like, because you're watching a Neil Diamond tribute band, but it's about the people that are pretending to be Neil Diamond. It's so weird. It's a real mind bender, like when you watch the documentary afterward to see what these people were really looked like and did and how they acted and what they did.
Oh,
Oh,
they
like it,
certainly did not look like Hugh Jackman and
oh my God. I was like, did they give you, like, no offense to anyone, but like Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman were very much an upgrade and they very much portrayed them in a very positive light compared. And the same director of the documentary is the one of the consultants and everything. I think he was a producer on this one. So that was very interesting too.
very
But
interesting for
those
sure.
musical performances were fun too. But it
Yeah,
wasn't anything crazy special about it other than the people in it.
yeah, to
I
be
mean,
honest.
the Hugh Jackman of it all.
Of course. Now,
But
our last film for our little quartet here is a pretty recent one, which I
yeah.
had a screener link for, have reviewed from my channel and
Mhm.
everything, is See How They Run. And I honestly was super excited about this because, starring in it, it's Sam Rockwell
Sam
and Saoirse
Rockwell.
Ronan. And Saoirse Ronan is my favorite working actress today. I love her so much.
She's so interesting to watch. I love
Yeah,
her.
especially in this movie. Um,
She's great.
in the West End of 1950s London, plans for a movie version of a smash hit play come to an abrupt halt after a pivotal member of the crew is murdered.
Murdered.
So, this is directed by Tom George, and this has some pretty big names. Like,
Mhm.
quick side note, who the hell cast Harris Dickinson as Richard Attenborough, who is like
Like
at least a
a
foot
foot
taller than him?
taller. So weird, right?
That made
Because there's
no
only,
sense
I
to
think,
me.
what, three people in this movie that are based off real people, and you're gonna like just one of the more recognizable people to most of the world, and you're casting him as this completely different person.
Completely different person. But you have like Adrian Brody, David Oyelowo, Ruth Wilson all thrown in there. Patrice, what are your general thoughts on See How They Run?
So I love Agatha Christie so much.
Mm,
I would love to see The Mousetrap on the West End. Like it's been running for how many decades? Like it's amazing. Like I love her work. As soon as I rewatched this yesterday, I actually started watching the new Seven Dials because I'd been
nice.
waiting and I was like, I can't wait anymore. I gotta watch it right now. I everything's just so thoughtful. And I remembered watching this. Here's what's weird. I chose this one, but I only had a shadow of a memory of watching it because I was sick with COVID when I watched it.
Oh no.
And I don't have a lot of memory from those 3 weeks, but I remembered really liking it. And I was hoping I really still did. And knowing the cast and everything, I was like, I was pretty confident with, putting it
Yeah.
on this list. I mean, I knew like, and that I double checked all our friends on Letterboxd too, though, to make sure. Like, did everyone else seem to kind of like it, or is this really just I was sick and liked it?
Well, I think this wound up getting
But oh
lesser
man,
reviews than I was hoping after I saw it, but it's a really charming film for sure.
there's a lot going on here there's so many nods to her work that if you're not that well versed in it, you might not
Hmm.
notice. Like even just they're at the hotel and she asks, "Oh, what part of France are you from?" And he's like, "I'm Belgian." And that's a hilarious nod to Perot because he was constantly saying that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not I'm Belgian. There's a lot of little things like that throughout the entire movie that just tickled me because you knew that the writers really loved the work.
Hmm.
So, just a lot of things like that. And then just it's a fun cast. Like Ruth Wilson, I loved her character.
Hmm.
Just can like, how long is this gonna take? Like, we gotta get rolling here. Just everyone's really fun. And I like the mystery. The first time I don't remember necessarily how into knowing who it was going to be I was, but this time I had forgotten kind of part of it. So I was thinking one thing and then I was like, oh no, wait, that's not it. And I was like, oh, they got me.
Well, and even like the red herring of
Yeah, like there's that
like
one, but there's
what's up with Sam Rockwell's character?
right.
And
There's
there's
something
mystery
up.
around. Yeah, there's mystery around Inspector Stoppard, and you know, he was going to the dentist.
Yeah, again. Like,
Sure
uh,
was getting a nice drink at the dentist.
yep.
Um,
I mean, who
and
doesn't need a drink at the
Constable
dentist?
Stalker is so much fun, and Saoirse Ronan is so damn charming. And like, I guess I was jumping to conclusions again, and it's just
She
like her
writes it in all
vibe with everything.
capitals.
She talks too much. She thinks too she overthinks everything, but she's just so much fun and sweet and charming about it. It's just like, oh, I'll get you a ticket. It's like, what usually works well for like, well, and then she
Free on
keeps talking,
Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and most and like a minute or two later, and
and
most
most
weekends,
weekends. Then I could make a month.
and I could make a Monday. Like
She's like,
she
just give me
sells it
any
so
ticket any day.
great. Yeah, like she's such a fangirl of this production, but she's
Mhm.
also very much wanting to get, pass her sergeant's exam and like be
Yeah.
a good cop. But I think she also knows how to play her part to get the information without coming across as overbearing or anything. I mean, she knew, oh, if I bring tea and biscuits, like this guy's gonna give me the information I want. Like she
Mm.
knows how to like, and the commissioner, Tim Key, I love.
Yeah.
But he's like, you don't want to be the tea lady. And it's like, she knows what she's doing. Like, she,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and I completely forgot about Tim Key because then he just stole my heart this past year with the Ballad of Wallace Island. He was so good in that movie, and this cast is incredible. And Adrian Brody as this direct, my God, this man
uh,
is so scummy, such a jerk, so full of himself, but he's so entertaining in
yes.
this movie.
I'm so glad that he's in it as much as he is. Because like, after the first, scene or two, you're like, oh, well, darn. But then, like, one of the first flashbacks is after making fun of flashbacks. And
Yeah.
then, oh, and the 3 weeks later and everything. It's just, I love all that stuff. It's on the nose, but it's funny, you know?
Mhm. Well, and that's the thing. This is very like winking at like
Mhm.
we know, and we're having
Right.
fun with it.
Right.
And Adrian Brody is so good whenever this film comes back to these flashbacks and giving him more screen time,
Mhm.
and his conflicts with everybody because like he
Everybody.
doesn't get along with anybody. I love the whole, even when he gets attacked, like that sequence is so fun and
Mhm.
well shot and staged, and
Yes.
this film looks great. I love the production design, the costuming, everything is so precise on what they're
Mhm.
trying to do with it. This is just a ridiculously charming, fun romp of a murder mystery.
Or murder.
Even they labeled it cozy mystery on IMDb. And
Which a lot of Agatha Christie stuff gets labeled that way too. Like cozy mystery. I guess because it's not like a gore fest thriller, it gets labeled cozy, which I see it though. But
this was tasteful murder, Patrice. There was
yes,
some
that's
tasteful
right.
murder.
It really was, especially at the end. Like the whole last part out in the country. Like I love getting to a dark house mystery for that.
Yeah.
I think it was so great that it ends up in the middle of the country in a dark house. Like that to me was just the cherry on top, being
Well,
able to
and
bring it around.
I wish this movie didn't fall so under the radar. Because
Mhm.
like realistically, what are the only murder mysteries that people really talking about now? Knives Out.
Knives
And
Out.
I love them.
I
But
do
like
too.
there's room for
But
like, and
this
even
kind
like
of right. I feel like this is just such like it's such a fun time and it's smart. The way they did everything was just very smart and they made it approachable for all audience.
yeah,
You don't have to be an Agatha Christie fan or buff to enjoy this film. And that's what I think's cool about it because, you can't just jump into the middle of some of the Poirots or to some of the stuff you're not going to just get into without being invested in the character in some way. But, this is a one off and it's great, but I wouldn't mind seeing those detectives again. Like, I
oh,
think they'd be fun. I would love to see them again in some other
100% would.
mystery. Like, and it doesn't have to be a murder. Maybe they're doing some a heist or something else. Like, it was a fun time. It was just the details were fun. I loved just all the little moments were just so great. Even just Sam Rockwell waking up in jail without his pants and her saying, "You were very persistent that I press your trousers." Like
There's
you've
just
been
so
asleep
many
for
fun
18
little
hours.
moments like
Just
that.
there's so many fun things like that. Or just him in the workshop making puzzles.
Hmm. I
Like
feel like, unfortunately, this movie was a victim of this being the tail end of the pandemic.
Mhm.
Because like this made $22 million on a $40 million budget.
Man,
So like I don't think this is gonna get a sequel, which is sad. But no,
it
I would
really
love to see
is.
them try to solve a heist. Like
I think
the
it'd be so much fun, like, a kind of a without a clue style mystery, like, the
Mhm.
mint's missing their plates or something's being abducted from the museum or whatever. Like, I think they'd be a lot of fun in that. I would love to see these characters again. Just and some of there's other things about this I found really interesting, like, some of the side by side scenes and the top bottom scenes were very cool, and they gave me a little Wes Anderson vibe when you'd see the cars and stuff. Like and then you also get like a Twin Peaks kind of thing in the middle of the woods, though. It's very interesting, like all those little things that just kind of sample from other styles, but they're in here and they work.
this definitely gave me Wes Anderson vibes, and I was literally in my head thinking about Grand Budapest Hotel being such a great murder mystery too. That just has a lot of other stuff thrown in there too.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see Wes Anderson do another, just like he doesn't need to an Agatha Christie, but be inspired in the same ways
Right.
that he does a
Oh,
lot of
that'd be
his writing. I
so
would
much fun.
love a murder mystery in like a mansion.
Mhm.
Like, and murder mystery is not necessarily the first thing I think of when I think of things that I really enjoy, but like there's so many great ones. And this
Mhm.
was just really refreshing having this. And, on top of, they're just desperately trying to make this movie, put on this show.
Yeah,
And, murder
save their
gets in the way.
careers.
Exactly. But my biggest gripe with this movie is Richard Attenborough was at least a foot too tall.
Yep. That's what I
Because
guess they would have had to cast a lot of other shorter people to make it not look awkward. I don't know. Like it just really bothered me.
yeah, I have no idea why the hell you would cast Harris Dickinson as Richard Attenborough.
It's
Why
so
are there
weird.
not shorter actors cast in this movie?
I'm
I'm going to
pretty
perseverate on that for this film for forever because it's
It
such a
took me a bit to
glaring
get
thing.
over. Yeah, it really is. Like
I'm like,
that's
one
the
of the
only
most
thing, like literally the only thing I found odd.
one of the most famous things about Richard Attenborough is that he is a small
And
person.
he's not a large man,
No. Like
just a little guy.
Richard Hammond isn't walking up with his cane towering over everybody.
Right.
No, he's a little guy.
He's just a little dude.
He's just a little guy.
Like there are plenty of shorter actors in the UK that could have done this. But now it's gonna get it's like 6'3".
Nope.
Totally believable.
But well, this was a fun quartet that we started off with for this official launch as its own solo podcast with the Wasteland Spotlight. And next month, we're going to be doing Stage Door from 1937, Kiss Me Kate from 1953, Please Don't Eat the Daisies from 1960, and Noises Off from 1992, as Let's Put on a Show Part 2 to launch this new podcast. But Patrice, thank you so much for joining me on this little adventure through some themed movie discussions.
Always fun.
And thank all of you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, and share on this episode. What is your favorite film about putting on a show? And we just talked about murder mysteries a lot, so let's throw that one into what's your favorite murder mystery? And make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. The SPDM Crew Podcasting Network is ever expanding. We have so many great shows, new ones to come. This is a new one. You like movies? There's plenty of those. And if you want to be a guest on one of these shows, like maybe a future episode of this at some point, or any of our other shows, or if you want to start your own podcast, you have an idea that you want to try to build off of, reach out to us on our website. And if you like our logo, check out High Flyer Creative for all your digital marketing needs. But most importantly, thank you, as always, for tuning in and supporting the Wasteland Spotlight here on the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network.